I remember one time at an airport, I saw a lady with, like, she did her hair and it looked good. And I was like, oh, I like your hair. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, you just made my day. As soon as I walked away, my first... Exactly. My first thought was like, you let a stranger make your day? What the fuck?
Welcome back, everybody, to another amazing episode of The Careful Boys. Well, we're currently off the record, and we have Mr. Jared Feather in the seat.
Oh.
Yay! Welcome, Jared.
Mr. Jared.
So here's the question,
Jared.
everybody.
Okay.
When was a...
Can you arm wrestle him before we start?
What if my shit just breaks? What if
No, but he's tired right now. You got him when he's
in prep.
tired.
We're laterally sitting in a disadvantaged position for me. Look at me. You're giving me no handicap here.
Do power slap. Do power slap.
Power slap.
Jared's like, I will literally kill him.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'll rip his arm off.
I'll tell you. I'll time it. You guys ready?
Don't be afraid, Bart. How about you versus Mr.
I already know I'm gonna lose.
But you got the Get Strong program. This is a chance to test your
That shit doesn't work.
You're the strongest one out of all of us.
You're the strongest one out of all of us.
And I'm still gonna lose.
You're our representative.
Then why are you suggesting I go?
Because it's more fun to watch kids get beat up.
Because you look so young.
Yeah, I talked about that already. It's the forbidden fruit.
Part of me wants to, but I know I'm gonna get injured.
Just to grip the hand, you know?
Yeah.
It just scare me for like 5 seconds. Just scare me for like 5 seconds.
Ready?
Just to
On your
feel
mark.
I'm already scared. Look at this forearm, man. Jesus Christ.
On your mark. Get set. Go.
I've been going.
Hey, you didn't even do it.
He said, "Are you going?"
Alright.
I thought he was just getting ready.
I was holding back 10% minimum.
Are you going?
Here's the question. When was a moment, alright, that you realized that your craft or your interest became your calling?
Oh boy.
Everybody here got some, whether it be business, whether it be content creation, whether it be dancing, working out, fitness, whatever. But there was definitely a moment where our interest turned into something that we knew was maybe more of our calling. What were moments that either led up to it or a singular?
You go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. Because bodybuilding's a lifestyle. It's like an encompassing thing.
Yeah, you gotta go hardcore. You gotta be your own science project.
Man, I'm gonna give you guys a really fucking boring answer. It's not gonna be fun.
Okay, tell me.
Well, we'll start boring. So it's
The lack of forward thinking in my childhood growing up, living day-to-day shit like that, I realized was a really poor way to live. And I knew that if I just heavily invested in my future in education, and then when I finally realized health was a thing, my future in health, that things would slowly add up over time. It had nothing to do with a singular moment in time, nothing to do with, ooh, this is exactly what I want to do with my life. When I found the things I wanted to invest heavily in, I just did, and over time to become better and better and better. And I think that's the way most people should live. If you had like a moment in time where you were like, oh, this is the shit, this is what I'm gonna do, that's fucking awesome.
Was there like a slightly aha experience even? Like maybe
I had a good experience as far as like the bodybuilding stuff goes, which I don't make my money in bodybuilding. Like I said, I'm a sports scientist for a really cool company. I think when I found Mike as a mentor and I was acing all of his tests and stuff, I was like, oh wow, I kind of am this intelligent person. Growing up, I was...
Mike was his professor and then now his boss.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's like a colleague.
Or a colleague.
He owns RP. You could call him a boss technically.
Yeah, see?
Beat this guy up, dude.
Stop talking shit. I get it. Mike's better. You like him more. Because through high school, growing up poor, being white trash, like there were times when I would walk into my classroom, and because my last name was Feather, the teacher would look at me and be like, I don't want to look at your fucking face today. Get out. Like my last name had that much negativity around it.
Wow.
Like I said, they're all meth addicts and like shit. Like
Oh shit.
all my cousins got kicked out of
Ruth's family in Ozark.
Yeah, literally. My uncle owned a meth lab.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they just heard their name. They're like, oh, you guys are...
Yeah, literally. Like Feather was like, all right, get the fuck out of my class. So I just thought I was a stupid kid. Like I didn't do super well. Like I always liked being at school because I was not at home. So I had like really good attendance. I don't know, like a 2.0 GPA or some shit. Like sometimes it was hard to grasp concepts.
Oh, me too, man. High five.
Yeah, then I got to college and
Langmore's.
Yeah. I found that stuff and just realized, hey, I'm pretty good at this shit, and I'm gonna keep doing it and see.
So it was a gradual thing for you, because it was like one aha moment that led to another aha moment.
Yeah, it's just like investing in yourself, and then that return on investment, accumulates over time. But like bodybuilding, I did a show at 19 years old, first show ever. I won. I basically turned pro immediately.
So you won your first
I
show.
was like, I'm gonna be pretty good at this.
And it's natural too, right?
Yeah, it was a natural bodybuilding.
Wow. So you beat steroid guys.
No, this was a natural bodybuilding show. Also, it was in the Natural Federation.
So what at that point though prompted you even to join that show?
I knew that my mom enjoyed health and fitness growing up, and she just couldn't do it anymore because of the tumor situation. And I was like, if she wanted to do this when she was younger, I should give it a shot, just kind of like in honor of my mom, just it'd be cool. And I had a friend that I went to university with who was like, hey, I'm doing this show, you should do it with me. So finally I was like, the whole thing seems weird, getting fucking spray tan and getting on stage and like a little man thong. So I actually did men's physique first.
That's where you wear
Board shorts. It's like literally you get on stage with swim trunks. Because, everything else, I was a kid from Missouri, Midwest, and I was like raised around super conservative, so it was fucking weird.
That's gay.
This shit's gay, man.
Gay shit.
But, eventually over time, I was like, all right, this is cool. So yeah, I was like, whoa, I won. I looked pretty damn good lean, and I think that I could be really good at this. And by that time, I was the friend who leads the workouts. I was the person people came to like, what do I do for the gym? How do I lose weight? How do I gain muscle? And I was like, okay, people kind of see me as this person that can really help them. So I'm just let's go with it. And I just kept doing it over time and get to work for a badass company now.
And that propelled you to get your master's and further your education?
Yeah, whenever I realized I was pretty decent in the education realm, I was like, realizing people really came to me as an authority throughout that course of time in college. I was like, gosh, I could really learn more and more and more. I got 3 or 4 degrees now and can help people with basically any aspect of fitness that I want to. Like, it's really cool.
See, that's not a boring answer to me. That's like a good answer because I know that I know we have like fans and followers.
That's a good ass answer.
Yeah, that have those kinds of questions. Sometimes they're like, maybe they want to do this for their life or something, but they think that there's some sort of risk component, or they don't understand what the signs are that are like, I'm actually good at this, maybe I should take another step.
Yeah.
But like to even know that one, whether it be nurture versus nature, there were certain things, whether it be your mom wanted to be into health and fitness, to your situation where you wanted to be at the gym all the time because you were escaping something, and then suddenly you got good enough to the point where people or your circle started like trusting you, or you would build relationships with other people in that space that would eventually be like, hey, come be a part of this thing, and just slowly one step at a time, one stair at a time up this staircase that eventually got you to one place. Because so many people are like, how did you get to fucking Z already without seeing like letter by letter 100%, and stuff? 100%. But then to see somebody who's like more than just like bodybuilding, like you said, it's a lifestyle, education, you got your masters, you're working with your colleagues that was your professor, like those are like the realistic ways that somebody gets to where they need to get to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool because even oftentimes you don't even know what the fuck you do enjoy. Like, I know many people like that. They're like, I'm trying this thing and that thing, and I enjoyed this thing for a year, but then I just got tired of it. It became mundane, whatever. It's like finding those people in your space and getting mentors, and like even just asking, if you guys like this style of shit and you love podcasts, ask these guys questions. Like, they're the fucking guys at the top now, and they weren't here 15 years ago, and now here they are. So it's cool because you can find those mentors and find people who can really push you in the direction where you are enjoying certain things, and that actually helps you to figure out what you enjoy even more, because the mentor's like, wow, you're good at this thing. You're like, oh shit, am I? Wow, cool. And you have that outside respect too, and that outside somebody else seeing that your hard work is paying off, other than yourself, the good validation. So
I'm trying to get mentors now.
For real.
I never had mentors.
Business mentors especially, man.
Oh man, the mistakes that I've
100%.
Oh, mentors, please.
No, legit, man.
Save me, man. After the fact, they go, why did you do that, Joe? I don't know. I wish I knew you back then.
Why'd you tell me?
I wish you knew, yeah.
And that's the cool part too, because like, you have them, you're gonna get to a point in business where you're like, wow, I'm really successful, and then you're gonna have kids who are like 25 to 30 when you're 50, 60, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I'll help you out. That's just kind of like the richest people who have really made names for themselves tend to be like the nicest people that I've talked to. The black belts in the gym are the fucking most humble dudes ever. The guys at the top are the ones that they actually will give you the fucking time of day. It's the white belt that walks in with a chip on his shoulder who wrestled in high school that's a dickhead. That's it. Like it's a
The
step.
micro influencers that are more diva than
Legit.
people I know that got millions of fucking followers.
It's hella true though.
Legitimately, yeah.
There'll be like 20,000 followers on Instagram thinking that they're fucking Halle Berry and shit. And it's like, Halle Berry? It's like, shut up, dude. You're so mean.
Alright, I gotta hear everybody else's now. Let's hear it. Let's get them.
I don't even know if
I'm
I'm still searching, bro. Like what my thing is.
Today's video is brought to you by Warby Parker. Warby Parker offers you everything that you need for happier eyes. Eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and even eye exams. And you can shop with them online or in stores.
Glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses.
Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try on at home for free. There's no obligation to buy, ships free, and even includes a prepaid return shipping label.
You can also add a pair and save. Get 15% off when you choose 2 or more pairs of eyeglasses or prescription glasses.
So one of my favorite things about Warby Parker is the home try-on program, because a lot of times, you know, you're stuck at the store and you're like, dang, I don't want to buy this many. I want to narrow it down to 1 or 2 that I like, but you wish you can go and pair it with some of your other clothes. And for me, I already kind of generally know the shape of sunglasses that I like, and usually I'm just trying to switch colors. So with the try on at home program, you can get like 3, 4 of the same models, and I'll get clear, black, tortoise, maybe have a reflective lens or like a smoky lens, and I get to just try on and really dial in what I like. And if you prefer shopping in stores, they have over 190 retail locations. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/off-the-record.
So like, I think when I hear this question, it's usually from people that haven't launched. Like they have a failure to launch, and they have so many things that they want to do, or they don't even know what they want to do. And then they go, how do you do it? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like I just choose something. I have the flavor of the month or the year, and I obsessively do it until I'm satisfied. And then so all the things that I've got into, like I don't even know if I have that one thing. Like, you know, I guess you guys could identify as dance, and you've made a name through dance, and you've been through the whole like system and the authority, and then the there's like a whole thing around it. Everything that I've done, there's not really like a governing force or any type of way to measure it objectively.
Well, maybe even more of a crazy story then, because obviously there's a very clear example that comes to mind for you, in my understanding of even things like JK Films and JK News, like not having a governing or concept of like this is a way to do something, and then still being full force and being like this is what we do. You know what I mean? This is what I do. This is what we're gonna keep pushing regardless, without any fucking mentors in front of us. You know, and being the almost inaugural generation, like. That's probably even more risky and crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think a really good aha moment for everybody listening to have is that, and this is just so oversaid, but it's so fucking true. Set aside the fear of failing at anything you're gonna do. And it's like the launch, just fucking launch it. Who gives a shit? I've failed at so many things in my life. Relationships, different avenues of school. I thought I wanted to do like fucking aerospace engineering the first time I got into college. I was like, this sounds neat. Well, I'll try some math. Then I sucked, and I was like, oh, shit, something else. That really is like the aha moment you gotta have, is that realizing where the fear is, and then just setting that shit to the side, because you're never gonna get anywhere with it. So, how about y'all? What you got? Was it your first cauliflower? You feel like, oh shit, it's getting there, mom. Look at that.
Not even. It just blew up one day. No, I think I was always into fitness. I was always into like martial arts growing up, and then as soon as like I finished high school, I was like, I want to fight. I had like an affinity for it. I started training, and then like what you said, somebody was like, oh, you're pretty good at this, you should do this next. Like, so because I'm not very confident at all. I was always like, oh, you think so? Oh geez, like I was like that. Still am kind of.
Same, man. I was the same way.
Okay, thank you. Okay, mister, if you think so. Yeah. So people were like, you should fight, and I was like, oh really, you think? Okay. And then And they're like, oh, okay, you did pretty good. You want to do next one? And I was like, all right, if you think I'm ready. And that was like just how it went on, right?
Just beating everybody's ass, all humble.
Not even.
So your route is, instead of you having this desire to go full force and motivation, it was more like people were believing in you and then telling you to do it, and you just followed it.
Yeah, I just would listen.
That's huge, man.
Like, that's how I got into coaching. Like when I stopped fighting and I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. My brain hurts. And then all these, like, one of the parents, like, I still talk to this day. I remember he came up to me and like sat me aside and was like, you should do this. Like, you should coach. And I was like, really? And I was like, I was in college at the time. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. And then he just kind of motivated me to do that. And then my boss, my coach at the time, Savant, was like, you should be doing this too. This is how. And I just felt like, okay, this is an easy way for me to make money. I don't have to work a regular job. I could just charge people hourly, whatever, and then just figure it out. And then as time went on, I realized, okay, I do the kickboxing stuff, the boxing stuff. Some people want to learn how to get strong. And I was like, well, I don't know how to really do that. I should learn how to do strength training. And then that led to, oh, I need some nutrition help. And I was like, I don't know how to give advice on this. And then it kind of led to that. So just as the needs came about, I just, like what you said, was just trying to figure out, like, how can I make my business a little bit better? How can I help more people?
You didn't settle either, which is the coolest part. Like, you knew there was room for growth in that aspect of everything that you were doing with the coaching stuff. And anytime something arose, you were like, there's further room for me to grow as a coach and a person, so let me just keep continuing to learn, which is very fucking important.
I just felt like I kept hitting walls with
Yeah.
I was like, how come I can't get this person to get to the next step? Like, what am I missing? You know, so it would be like looking into other things, like, you know, thinking about behavioral as a whole. Like, how can I get someone to not do these behaviors and do these behaviors? So it's like a lot more of that stuff. But without that, I don't think I would be, you know, I wouldn't have a business anymore. I wouldn't be able to have a job. And it's crazy to even think about, like, that I'm able to pay my bills with this stuff. But at the same time, it goes back to that fact of just always trying to, it's so corny because everyone says it, but it's true. Like, a lot of the truest things in life are true, is just you have to keep getting better because you'll always hit a wall. And if you're content with that plateau, then you can stay there, but you have to try to, like, get better and do more things. And I feel like, I'm constantly getting into more aspects of not just fitness, but like running a fitness business or just business as a whole, because I can't move to the next level until, like, you learn the basics of it. So it's just trying to, like, learn more and yeah, just as time goes, like, just don't rush it. Because I think earlier too, I was so worried about, like, I need to be here already. And it's like, you'll never get there until you do all the small menial things that you need to take. And just, like, not being afraid of failing is a huge thing. And that's something that you have to keep practicing. Like, you can't just say, I'm not going to be afraid of fail. You have to, like, put yourself in fires a little bit and then just see what happens. You have to try shit out, you know, but that's just kind of my story with it.
That college version of you that was sitting down with that parent who was like, hey, you should get into coaching or whatever, and you were kind of like being motivated at that time, but you didn't know. Yeah. If you were to take that guy and look at who you are and what you do now, what do you think that guy would think? I
think he'd be very excited. And I've been thinking about that recently, because sometimes you get to the point where you're like, oh, well, you know, when I only had like 2-3 clients, I was like, man, if I just have a full schedule, I'd be so happy. And then now that you're lucky enough to be able to say you have a full schedule, you're like, oh shit, it is crazy. And you get to just farting around in the gym all day and hang out with cool people, you know, just have great conversations with people. It's nothing's better than that. But, you know, stop looking like that, Ryan.
Why? No, it sounds really cool.
Thanks, man. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude.
Fuck you.
What about you, Bart?
I think I'm in the same boat as Joe a little bit. Where, like, what we did at the time, we didn't even know, at least I didn't even know, that we were even making funny videos. Like, I didn't even know what laughing was. I just knew we would make videos.
I did not know what laughing was.
I just thought it was an extended cough.
Like, we would just make videos in the beginning, right? And, like, I didn't know comedy produces laughs. I just knew this is a warm feeling and it feels...
Oh, like we're just fucking around.
Yeah, I didn't know we
You guys were having fun. You weren't looking at the science of
comedy.
it.
Exactly, right? It's like seeing someone, like, bob their shoulder at the club and then they're like, oh, you're dancing. And you're like, oh, I am? Yeah, you're like, technically, anytime you move your body to music, that's dancing. And you're like, oh, okay. So it was kind of like that, where me and Joe were just making these things that's being recorded, not knowing what we were doing. And then it made me kind of like think in retrospect, I'm like, oh man, all my favorite moments in life was when I was just acting funny or having a funny time. And now I look back at all the awards I ever got as a kid. They were always like most humorous or like a jokester or whatever, or most talkative. Like I've always been kind of like a class clown. And I'm like, oh, I think I really enjoy the funnies. And then so as we pursued like YouTube and kind of start building like this like multiple channels and like a business, I think there was a part of me that's like what Joe is explaining. It's like a very unformalized thing. So I think that's why I had such a gravitation towards formalizing what we were doing. So I went to UCB, took like improv class, I started doing stand-up comedy. We took sketch writing classes at UCB. We took sketch writing from one of the writers at Key and Peele to just kind of like, okay, let's package this thing at the club into like, okay, I'm officially now a crumper, or I'm officially now like a popper or whatever. And then I think understanding those techniques and having formalized this like kind of like primal feeling but not knowing what it is, I'm like, okay, cool, I really like comedy now. And then even going beyond JK, I realized that's really, I think, what I just enjoy doing. Because even with like the Barbell Brigade stuff, my favorite stuff is making fitness funny. You know, like doing a funny approach to fitness. Or even my favorite moments with my son is when we both are doing funny things, or he's doing a funny thing, or even in my own vlog channel, I just like funny moments and I just like having a silly goose time. So I think the time that like I had my first aha moment is it doesn't really matter if you think you're good or if you think you're funny, right? Because like who knows if you're really like where you're at. But when me and Joe got called in to do the In Living Color audition, when they were gonna bring it back, it was like the 10-year anniversary or
Yeah, something like that.
some like anniversary.
Yeah.
And then we got to perform in front of
Keenan.
Keenan Wayans with his whole family, and because he wanted to do like the whole 4-quadrant is are older people gonna laugh, are our parents gonna laugh, our kids gonna laugh. And then so both me and Joe got a chance to just do a full-on improv monologue that we made up on the spot, and the whole family was laughing. I was like, oh shit, like what I think is funny is also what the greats also think is funny. So I think that was really cool to have like that kind of like validation, because on YouTube, even though we were getting views and I thought we were doing funny shit, the audience thought we were doing funny shit, but I'm like, but you guys could just be stupid. And then just laugh, so I'm like, I want to see it. You know what I mean? It's like you make food, right? And then this guy that fucking likes like Taco Bell, he goes, it's good. I'm like, man, you think everything's good. You want like Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, it's like Gordon Ramsay saying, it doesn't taste like shit.
Yeah. You want
Shit
someone that's
palate.
like, oh, this guy, that tastes good. Okay, cool.
And then stand-up comedians that we respected came to our shows, or we shared the same stage, and
Not these idiot
we saw them
subscribers.
laughing. Yeah, I think that was a good validation moment.
Yeah, and I think after that, I felt like, okay, cool, we're onto something. I have a better structure on what's going on, and then I think that was kind of like the aha moment where I'm like, doesn't really matter what I do, as long as it's funny somehow. So they could be getting into like, let's say in the future, fast forward to when I'm 45, 55 or whatever, if it's a restaurant or a fucking children's playground or whatever, I think as long as it's in the funny realm, it'll continue to be what I guess like my calling is. Yeah.
And I love that there's like a similar theme even through everybody's different like stories, that there was points and moments of like validation from other people.
That you respect.
Yeah, that you respect. You know, that like people that somehow make their way into your life because you kept on doing something of your own interest. You would build relationships with people, obviously because you're good people, so you have to build relationships with people, and you have to understand, that like you can learn something from somebody else or are open to that. And then somebody comes in, they might just say one thing that you already knew, but you needed to hear it from somebody else, and then it just sets you down a path.
Pushes you forward.
Really cool, because I kind of take that into my day-to-day, just realizing how important that actually was. It's literally one of the most important things. But every DM that I get, even though I've been in like over 100,000 followers and shit like that for a long time, I will respond to.
Wow.
I put aside time in my day to respond to everybody.
I don't respond to any of them.
Every single one of them.
Damn.
Piece of shit, dude.
I know. I need to change my ways.
I think we should all do that.
Even just complimenting people on like, clearly this person tried with their outfit, and I'm just like, hey, you look good. Like in the fucking airport. Like, I don't care. Because maybe they're pursuing Fashion.
Oh, so even in real life.
Absolutely.
Just like affirmations to people.
100%. It's
But that's also because you could do that because you can like fight off the crazy. Just looking in, you know what I mean?
Because they're gonna get mad at him for complimenting.
I don't know if I've ever. Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck you said to me?
Sometimes you'll get like an eye roll or something. You know, like whatever. It's not gonna make me feel any worse. Like
Right, that's true.
See my triceps, dude? You eye rolling at me? Come on. You see these delts, bro?
That's
That is
crazy.
true. That's very valuable.
Crazy because so Gio calls me a robot because I am. I'm very logical, and so I think I'm learning the human ways. Because I remember one time at an airport, I saw a lady with she did her hair and it looked good, and I was like, oh, I like your hair, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, you just made my day. As soon as I walked away, my
Said,
first
"Stupid bitch."
exactly my first thought was like, you let a stranger make your day? What the fuck? Like, you stupid.
called it,
I was like,
bro.
you stupid ass bitch. And I told Gio, and I was like, hey, this lady told me I made her day. And it was like, I'm a stranger to her. She's like,
You're trying to make fun of her?
she's like, you fucking moron. You know, that's what people like.
Marlon
People
Wayans-
try.
Marlon Wayans was a stranger, and so was his family, right?
No, he's not a stranger.
They were. But first time you performed in front of them.
Damn, you know what? See?
This guy gets it.
He gets it, dude.
This guy's winning at life everywhere.